Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm sharing my April 2025 monthly update for my SIPP portfolios, and that includes my Bell SIPP, my InvestEngine SIPP, and a look at how both of these self-invested personal pensions are performing as we head through 2025. But before we dive into the numbers, let's take a quick look at what happened in the stock market over the past month, because it's been anything but quiet. April was a roller coaster month for the stock market. We saw a sharp drop early on after new US tariffs rattled investors, with the S&P 500 falling more than 6% in just one day. But the panic didn't last long. The stock market bounced back quickly as the US scaled back some of those tariffs, and we even saw one of the strongest daily rallies in years. Here in the UK, the FTSE 100 surprised everyone with a 15-day winning streak, the longest in its history, finishing April near record highs. So, despite all the global noise, both the US and UK stock markets held up surprisingly well. Now, let's get into the April performance of my SIPP portfolios, starting with my InvestEngine SIPP. So the total balance in this portfolio is £1,577.69, which is down £9.81 overall. It's split between two self-managed portfolios, both focused on long-term retirement income, but with slightly different themes. One is built around traditional growth ETFs, and the other leans into AI and next-gen communication trends. Let's take a look at each of these themes. First up, the one I've named my 2043 retirement income. This portfolio is on a £50 monthly savings plan and currently sits at £890.51. It's made up of 4 ETFs and was down slightly in April, dropping £21.67, even though it's showing a 1.23% return. Now, that percentage return is based on time-weighted return, which tracks how the investments performed over time without factoring in new contributions. So while the total value has dipped, the underlying ETFs actually had slightly positive performance in April, and that's what the return figure reflects. The second portfolio is called AI Machine. It's also retirement focused, but tilted towards AI and next-gen communications. It's currently worth £687.15 and is up £12.36 or 11.53%. You might notice that the second portfolio no longer has the £50 monthly savings plan. That's because I've just cancelled it. InvestEngine no longer accepts open banking transfers, which means your account doesn't get credited the same day funds leave your bank. I'd rather set up a standing order instead. If you've noticed this too, please leave a comment below. So my first May deposit to the AI Machine portfolio hasn't yet hit the account, even though the money has already left my bank. Now let's go into each of these portfolios in more detail, starting with my 2043 retirement income. The total expense ratio of this portfolio is 0.3%, which is great. High fees can really eat into your returns over time. So here's how my investments performed. The first ETF is iShares S&P 500 Information Technology ETF, ticker IITU. Total balance is £284.88 and is down £13.74, but showing plus 7.27% gain. Again, this percentage is based on time-weighted returns, so it doesn't reflect the current drop in value. Next, I have Invesco Nasdaq 100 ETF, ticker EQGB. Total value is £275.92 and is up 10.65%. Next, I have the VanEck Vector Semiconductor ETF, ticker SMGB. Total value is £143.37 and is down nearly 9%. Finally, I have Wisdom Tree Cybersecurity ETF, ticker CYSA. Total value is £185.33 and is nearly flat. So in terms of the breakdown, IITU makes up the biggest part of the portfolio at 32%, followed by Nasdaq 100 at 31%, and the semiconductor ETF is only 19% of the portfolio, the smallest of which is the cybersecurity ETF. So we had a bit of red in some of the more volatile areas like semiconductors, but that's expected. This is a long-term play and I'm sticking with the auto invest strategy here. Next, Moving on to the second portfolio, which is the AI machine. This one has a lower expense ratio of 0.15%, which is great to see. Total contributions to the portfolio so far are £674.79, which means it's up £12.36 or 11.53%. I only have two ETFs here. First is Spider S&P US Communication Services ETF, ticker GXLC, and it's up 13.75%. This makes up just over 81% of the total value of this portfolio. And then we have the final ETF, iShares S&P 500 Information Technology ETF, IITU, which is down £6.97. Let's now take a look at the analytics. Together, these portfolios are 99.9% invested in equities with around 86% exposure to North America. Sector-wise is heavily weighted toward technology, which makes up over 54% of the portfolio, followed by industrials and consumer stocks. If we zoom in on the underlying holdings, the biggest names are Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, and Meta, all central to both the tech and AI narratives. So even though the overall value of the portfolio has dipped slightly, the long-term strategy is intact. Stay consistent, stay diversified, and let compound growth do the work. Finally, let's now take a look at my transactions, my deposits and withdrawals for April. My £50 monthly top-up went in on the 1st and the 3rd of April. Although these were delayed due to the new changes, those would have normally hit on the 28th of March and the 1st of April. Then the regular purchases were made automatically the next day after the top-ups were received. I also received my SIPP rebate on the 25th of April, and subsequent auto purchases were triggered from those. The final SIPP top-up went in on the 30th of April, again with a 2-day delay caused by the new deposit process, and some purchases were made from the recent top-up. So that wraps up this InvestEngine portfolio. Let's now jump into my Bell SIPP portfolio. So the total value of this portfolio is £7,353.69, which is down 4.93% overall. That's split between £7,125 in investments and £227 in cash. This portfolio is built around three main investments. The first is Amazon, and then I have the iShares Semiconductor ETF, ticker SEMI, and iShares S&P 500 Information Technology ETF, IITU. So I have 24 shares of Amazon. Total value is £3,436.20 and is down £88 or minus 2.5%. Next is iShares Semiconductors ETF, ticker SEMI. Total value is £1,171 and is down minus £235 or a big 16.77% drop. The final one is iShares IT ETF, ticker IITU. Total value is £2,518 and is down just £45 or minus 1.78%. So semiconductors took a big hit here too, similar to what we saw in my InvestEngine SIPP, but that's the nature of high growth sectors. Now, in terms of activity for the month, on the 3rd of April, I manually purchased 6 units of IITU ETF and I temporarily paused the regular investment feature that Bell usually runs on the 10th of each month. Then on the 10th of April, Bell automatically invested anyway, buying 26 units of this SEMI ETF as part of the regular investment schedule. On the 22nd of April, I received £75 in tax relief, which was automatically added to the account. Then on the 30th of April, I made my regular £300 monthly deposit. And on the 2nd of May, just as I was recording this, I manually bought one additional Amazon share, which is already reflected in the numbers we've just seen in the 24 Amazon shares here. So overall, the Bell SIPP had a rougher month in terms of performance, mainly due to the semiconductor exposure. But I'm continuing to hold my investments and take advantage of the lower prices. So to wrap this up, let's look at the bigger picture. In my March update, my total investments across both SIPPs stood at £8,433. This month, that number has increased to £8,931. Now, at first glance, it looks like the portfolio has grown, but it's important to zoom in on the details. Over the course of April, I deposited £400 and received £100 in tax rebates, bringing total inflows to £500. So really, after accounting for the new money added, the portfolio is best described as staying flat, which, given the market volatility we've seen, is actually a decent outcome. As always, this journey is long-term and building a retirement portfolio that grows steadily over time, no matter what the headlines say. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss next month's updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.